It's finally happening. Ranked is coming. Patch 1.02 is live. I can finally get Iron 3. Yo, what's good guys? It's your boy Reets. Patch 1.02, it's here. It's going live within the next day, depending on where you are in the world, and it brings with it massive changes. I'm going to break it all down, so sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Let's start with Ranked, because I know that's what everyone's waiting for. Competitive mode will be made available during this patch with updated rank iconography, a new top rank of Radiant, and expanded skill disparity range for playing with friends in placements. Riot also mentioned that competitive match overtime on this patch will be resolved using sudden death, which they know is intrinsically unfair, but they are actively working on replacing this with a more fair solution. Yo! We did it! I cannot wait to get stuck into Ranked with mates. It's not going live immediately. Riot have said they'll ensure the patch is stable and then launch Ranked, so hopefully within the next couple of days or on the weekend. It'll be interesting to see how far they let the rank disparity stretch. Obviously once you're ranked, it'll be within 2 tiers, but in placement matches, it'll be nice to play with a wide range of friends regardless of their skill level. And whilst overtime is unfair at the moment, it's nice to know Riot are addressing it, and hopefully they come up with a solution soon. Any possible solution will obviously mean that game times are probably longer, because you'll have to play at least a couple of rounds on each side, but we'll wait and see what happens. Drop a like if you're enjoying the video, and I'd love it if you could subscribe. I'm making Valorant videos every week, and I'll be covering future patch notes. Next up, we have agent changes. Viper is the agent that's gone through the most changes, with 2 buffs and a slight nerf. Toxic Screen now burns through walls, placing emitters at all valid locations. Riot said that this is a potentially strong vision slicing tool, but its access was terrible, making it only useful in a few spots on most maps. Snakebite now adds the Fragile debuff, which doubles incoming damage from other sources. Poison Orb got a slight nerf. The patch notes say it went from a 0.5 second to 6 second cooldown. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's a typo. I think it was 5 seconds before and has been pushed up to 6 seconds. All in all, I think these are positive changes for Viper, despite the slight nerf on Poison Orb. Toxic Scream will now be a lot more effective, especially at pushing into sites and cutting them in half. There won't only be a few lineups on each map anymore, as you can throw it through walls. Snakebite becomes a much stronger molly, allowing Viper to delay pushes onto site and hold off oncoming enemies. It'll be a lot harder for enemies to push through and will make them think twice, as making that decision could leave you prone to taking double damage from enemies firing at you. Riot have obviously noticed issues with Viper and a lack of playtime. It's good to see them address it. I personally haven't seen much Viper play in my games, and it will be interesting to see if these changes are enough to fix her, or if there'll be more coming in future patches. Jett and Reyna also received slight buffs, with an indirect nerf to Phoenix. Bladestorm now refreshes when used to kill Phoenix during Run It Back, and Soul Orbs are now spawned when Reyna kills Phoenix during Run It Back. Cypher had some bugs fixed. I haven't experienced any of these myself, but I'm sure all you Cypher mains are super upset about these changes. We've got some awesome changes to smoke tuning, with decreased blind fall off and decreased near sight intensity. The previous tuning for smokes made it far too punishing for players to push through and take a calculated risk. Pushing through a smoke will be risky, but more reasonable now. This is great to see, and puts more emphasis on attacking and aggression. And I cannot wait to see how much they've decreased the near sight intensity. I can barely see my gun in front of me in Brimstone smokes at the moment. Tagging. Arguably my favourite change from the patch. The effect of tagging on movement speed has been reduced from 80% to 70% and from 35% to 25% when shot through walls. They've also doubled the time it takes to reach the desired slow amount when tagged. This is a great change. It felt like you were moving in slow motion before when being tagged. The change in movement speed was so jarring. It will be great for peeking and would be more forgiving if you're near or already behind cover when being tagged. Next up, we've got some changes to the Bucky, specifically its right click. Riot discovered an accidental discrepancy in how they were applying movement inaccuracy to the Bucky's right click. Crouch walking accuracy and run accuracy have been reduced from 3.45 to 4.1 and 3.5 to 6.4 respectively. Walk accuracy has increased from 6.4 to 4.4. An early surrender option has been added. This is an awesome change. I don't know what it is, maybe I'm just unlucky, but I'm still getting so many 3 and 4v5s with people abandoning early. You can call a vote by typing /FF, forfeit, concede, or surrender. An early surrender vote requires all present players on the surrendering team to vote yes. To do so, you can type /yes or /no. Each team can only call a vote once per half, and the votes cannot be called before reaching round 8. The winning team gets round win credit for every round necessary to bring them up to the victory condition, 13 rounds, and the surrendering team will get loss credit for every round necessary to bring them up to 13 rounds. Riot added a setting to allow players to permanently mute text from enemy players. This is a nice quality of life change, especially with Rated coming out. It'll allow you to block out toxicity if required. I haven't had the need yet, most of the community's been pretty good, but I'm sure it'll be just around the corner with Ranked. Next up, we have changes to literally every map. There's too many to go through, so I'll be making a separate video later today. Be sure to check it out where I'll go through all the changes. But essentially, Riot have said we're peeling back a bit on the amount of locations that require ability usage through angle checking or teamwork to clear safely. The intention is that angles that are more difficult to clear are most commonly found in areas meant to reinforce existing territory control. This is to emphasize ability usage and teamwork in order to reliably gain control of these locations. An added benefit is that this encourages ability usage and combat engagements to be spread out across the map. Riot have launched a UI overhaul to the HUD, Battle Pass, Contract, and Agent section, and I'm sure you'll see all those changes when you launch the game. There's some mode updates. Spike Rush has a new orb type, the Tracer Orb, which is a little like a wall hack. The speed boost has been changed to a combat stim. The movement speed and duration is unchanged, but it adds a buff to reload time, weapon draw time, spread recovery, rate of fire, and jump force. Plague Orb now shares a pool with Paranoia Orb. Only one of these will be chosen per game. Only one Plague Orb can spawn per round, and its health reduction has been decreased from 90 to 50. Deception Orb now shares a pool with Plague Orb. Only one of these will be chosen per game. Only one Deception Orb can spawn per round, and its duration has been decreased from 10 to 8 seconds. Tunnel vision has been decreased by 20%, meaning you can see more on your screen. Man, I don't know about you guys, but Spike Rush is looking more and more fun. Reyna and Jett with more buffs? Nah, only joking. Reyna now has Soul Orb spawn when she kills bots, and Jett has her Blade Storm refresh when she kills bots in practice mode. There are a number of performance updates and bug fixes, the most notable of which is that levels 2 to 7 for the Sovereign Ghost skin are now fixed and unlockable. That's made my day. Nah, but seriously, Riot, please give us a Phantom skin in the next pack. Why would I want to unlock Sovereign Ghost skin levels? And that's it. All the patch notes. We're at the end. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm making Valorant videos every week, and I would love to see you on the next one. Be sure to keep an eye out later today for my video on all the map changes, and let me know in the comments what your favorite change from this patch was. Happy fragging, guys. Peace.